A note on positive psychology in practice with some flowers, bougainvillea in the window, irises, a clematis, if you see it there in the middle, the first flower open today, the birds of paradise, of course, and another type of irises with some monkeys shouting around in the background. Well, evolved monkeys, but and I was thinking about a film uh, masterpiece that I have just finished, The Secret in Their Eyes, drama, crime story, mystery also, but with some very interesting positive psychology um, connections that can be made. I was thinking. First of all, here I can talk about the film, I'm guessing, because first of all, ajunge, măi, ajunge! An example of one not to do. I mean, you have to cope with adversity in a different way, but it's also true that positive psychology shows that you don't adapt to noise. You adapt to so many things. It's even a phenomenon called hedonic adaptation, the hedonic treadmill. You adapt to good and bad. It's good that you adapt to the bad things that happen, that arrive, a disease, a thing that happened at work, so many things. And it's bad that you adapt to the good things. You get a new car, well, you adapt to it. You should not buy goods. You should think that the Dalai Lama went in a department store. Wow, so many things I don't need, because consumerism is not good for the planet and it's not good for the happiness, life satisfaction level. It's proved that those who win the lottery, they've been tested, $1 million or more, just de acolo. Uh, they have indeed a boost for a few months, they feel happier, but then they come back, so it's not worth it. And if you are to spend money, you better spend it on experiences, on traveling, on experiences like this. No, I'm joking. This is sometimes they're good, sometimes they just blow my ear off. But returning to what you don't adapt to, if you lose a dear relative, you don't adapt to that, then it makes sense. Unemployed people do not adapt to their new situation. Well, there will be few who adapt. I'm talking in general. And noise, loud noise, especially if uh, people move near in a good, apparently a good home with amenities and that, but near the airport, and think I will, after a few days, weeks, I don't know, longer months, I will adapt to. No, they don't. You can't adapt to loud noise. So I think that's what I proved to myself earlier on, because it's on and on and on, and I have trouble with. I should uh, not just talk the talk, as I say, but walk the walk. I should do what I preach. In fact, one reason why I'm doing this, maybe the only reason, is that eventually I would learn it myself. They say that the best way to learn something is to teach others. So I identified a pupil, uh, fictional one, non-existent, and so supposedly I'm telling him what to do. Her, let's say, him or her. But actually, I need to learn it myself. And they say the best way is to do that. If you read something, you are left, there's a memory drawing, which shows how much you're left with. After you read, you tend to gradually lose it. If you rehearse, read again, of course, you're left with more. But once you start teaching, chances are you can do something about it. Not in the case of loud, continuous noise, I'm afraid. But inshallah, things will change. Things can only get better. That's the title of a song. Um, Howard Jones, I think. Yes, and I recommend strongly this film, and there are other fundamental movies of paramount importance. Uh, this is about people who try and find a meaning in their life. One is just finding the killer of his wife, finds the killer of his wife, and all his life is dedicated, finds meaning in torturing the rapist. He raped and brutally murdered the wife. So that's not something to do, but it's one example. Uh, there's a prosecutor involved in the case who loves his superior and cannot bring himself to do something about it until quite late, but eventually, after having failed, learned to fail or failed to learn, he learned to fail, he did something, and there's so much more. I mean, they also ask what's the point of life if it's an empty life? Why live an empty life? That man who lost his wife is one case of severe post-traumatic stress disorder, and he is in the situation I mentioned earlier, losing the dearest one. In his case, just meant that he lost any sense of meaning. He became depressed, and the only way to survive, and the only thing that kept him going, was to try and find the murderer and make him pay. And he did. He does find a way for payback. There is some closure in that, and it's true. It's more complicated because the system would not punish this individual. They found him. This prosecutor found him, but the state said, okay, we can use this guy to do the dirty work for us. It was the days of Argentina when this was not a democracy, and they were very interested to use scumbags, killers like this one, for all sorts of things. So they said, yes, he is guilty, but that's his private life. And if we were to use only good people, we wouldn't go too far. And in other words, some payback had to be found. If this is the right thing, well, I don't know.